Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about a true legend, the Oracle of Omaha himself, Warren Buffett. So let's just dive right into the big question. We all know Buffett for his consistency, right? But how has he navigated the incredible changes of the 21st century? What we're going to do is explore his journey by looking at what stayed the same and what's changed using his very own words from the last 2 decades. All right, so to really get a handle on how Buffett has evolved, you first have to look at what hasn't changed. These are the foundational principles, the absolute bedrock that has guided him through it all. Recessions, market bubbles, you name it. And this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of his philosophy. He has always said he isn't buying some ticker symbol that just wiggles around on a screen. No, he's buying a piece of an actual business. It's such a simple but powerful idea, and it means he's always focused on how the business will do over the long haul, not on all the short-term market noise. Now, take a look at this. This 4-step process for his insurance business is a perfect example of that consistency. I mean, this has shown up almost word for word in his letters to shareholders for decades. It just goes to show you that a core disciplined approach to risk is really what powers the whole engine of Berkshire Hathaway. This quote from 2017, wow. It just perfectly captures another one of those constants, this deep, almost visceral aversion to taking dumb risks. You know, it's a philosophy that has kept Berkshire safe during market panics and has guided his thinking for over 50 years. It ensures he always has cash on hand to play offense when everyone else is running for the hills. Okay, so we have these solid, unchanging principles. But, and this is a big but, with that as his foundation, Buffett's actual playbook had to evolve, and I mean it had to change dramatically. The way he invested in his early days just wasn't going to work once Berkshire Hathaway became an absolute behemoth. And this slide? This might capture the single most important shift in his entire career. In his 2023 letter, Buffett gave all the credit to his partner, the late, great Charlie Munger, for pushing him away from his mentor Ben Graham's cigar butt style of investing. This was it, the crucial shift from buying just cheap businesses to paying a fair price for truly wonderful ones. And you can literally see that evolution playing out right here on this timeline. He went from buying stocks in smaller companies to acquiring massive, essential American enterprises outright, like the BNSF Railroad. He even called that move an all-in wager on America. Just look at the scale of those deals increasing over time. So as these deals got bigger and bigger, his definition of a wonderful business got a lot sharper. It became less about just the numbers on a page and more about these intangible qualities, right? He was looking for businesses with wide moats, run by incredible CEOs, and he offered them a permanent home, which is a completely different world from the typical buy-it-and-flip-it model of private equity. But why? Why did the playbook have to change? What forced him to go from buying cheap stocks to buying entire railroads? Well, the answer is pretty simple, and it's a problem most of us would kill to have. Just sheer, staggering size. Just look at this number. By the end of 2004, Buffett was sitting on a $43 billion pile of cash. And he actually called this not a happy position. Can you believe that? It's because earning a decent return on that much money is just incredibly difficult. Finding multi-billion-dollar deals that meet his tough standards became his new white whale. This quote just nails the dilemma perfectly. The law of large numbers is unforgiving. Buffett's been telling his shareholders for years that the bigger Berkshire gets, the harder it is to generate those spectacular market-crushing returns of the past. So the playbook had to change. It was really the only way to keep that compounding machine running. So you've got this constant tension, right? Timeless principles on one hand and an evolving strategy on the other. That very tension is what forged the modern Berkshire Hathaway and laid out a clear blueprint for its future, even for a time after he's gone. Today, the company's value is incredibly concentrated in what Buffett calls the 4 giants. You have the massive insurance operation, the BNSF Railroad, Berkshire Hathaway Energy, and a massive stake in Apple. I mean, let's be honest, a portfolio dominated by a tech company would have been absolutely unimaginable for the Buffett of 20 years ago. No way. This 5-point plan, which he laid out for his successors, is really the synthesis of everything he's learned. It's a super pragmatic approach that combines the steady improvement of businesses he owns outright with the opportunistic flexibility you get from the stock market. It's a playbook built for stability and massive, massive scale. So when you put it all together, you see his real genius. It isn't just his timeless principles of buying good businesses and avoiding risk. The magic is in his ability to apply those core principles to a constantly changing world and a company that just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The foundation is constant, but the playbook, that has to adapt. And through all the strategic shifts, all the evolving tactics, one constant has remained his ultimate North Star, a deep, profound, and unwavering faith in the long-term prosperity of the American economy. He has called his biggest investments a bet on America. And man, has that bet paid off for him. Which really leaves us with a powerful question for any investor, big or small, to think about. In a world that's always changing, how do you balance your own core beliefs with the need to adapt? Thank you for joining us for this explainer.